It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening? Showtime, everybody. It is the Geno Jones Showtime. Welcome. Thank you for watching me. Everybody watching me live. Remember, the show is interactive. That means if you're watching me live right now, it's about 7:31 here on the East Coast. In Chicago, it's about 6:31. Out in Los Angeles, out in Las Vegas, up in Portland, Oregon, or Seattle, it's about 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon, maybe 4:31. Tell everybody to subscribe to this channel right here, right now. If they haven't done it, I am, about 56 new subscribers from becoming a YouTube partner. That means YouTube will partner up with this channel. They'll monetize it and they'll monetize my media company. It is so important that we support Black-owned business because Black America is under siege. Orange Hitler, Donald J. Trump, and his regime, they have declared war on Black people, on brown people, the Latino community, and physically they've done that. As a matter of fact, a couple hundred Texas National Guards are in the Chicago area. There was a judge that had to make a ruling to keep the National Guard and some of those Texas National Guards out of Portland, Oregon. There's a judge that's going to hold a hearing to, as a matter of fact, the judge basically said, I want to review the government's case, and this judge is going to make a ruling on Thursday. This judge is not going to be happy that basically Orange Hitler's like, who's going to stop me? What? Who's going to stop me? The American people are going to stop you. Please understand that there's a war declared on Black America, especially cities that didn't vote for him. He's always had a hard on. America is run by a racist, Jesus-free, outside of Orange Hitler, because the only God he worships is money. But the folks around him, the Stephen Millers, the Steve Bannons, the Russell Volts, the Kevin Roberts, a Jesus-free version of what they call Christianity, which is a racist remix version. You hear white Christian nationalism. That's a Jesus-free, perverted version of Christianity. It's an offense to even use Christianity and white Christians and nationalism in the same sentence, because it has nothing to do with the tenets of Jesus. It's all about racism and power and domination over everybody that's not a wealthy white Christian male outside of Orange Hitler, because like I said, he don't worship no God. He probably couldn't spell God. His God is money. But you've got this perverted, religious, Jesus-free Christianity version that you have a significant number of Americans, especially those around the Orange Hitler regime. But I need white America to understand something. They've already come for you too. And yes, there was a Black Hawk helicopter on top of an apartment building on the south side of Chicago in the South Shore neighborhood. But contraire mo fair, if you don't think that those Black Hawk helicopters won't be in your city or town, if you're not kissing the ass, bending the knee, bending over, spreading the butt cheeks for this regime, they've already come for you economically. They've taken over $1 trillion. Over $1 trillion. Money going to Medicaid, Medicare, subsidies for Obamacare, your food stamps, or we call it the EBT card, or the SNAP program. That's the official government name of the program. The SNAP Food Assistance Program, which is the modern day food stamps, or that EBT card that they put money on, the government puts money on every month for you to go and buy groceries. The millions of people, the majority of people who are on SNAP benefits, almost somewhere around 44, 45% are white women with children, and almost half of the veterans in America receive some form of SNAP benefits. So this regime is coming for all Americans because they don't want a democracy. They want what they call an authoritarian government. Basically, Orange Hitler wants to be king and dictator. It's not going to go down the way they think. You have some folks that's got a hard on and wet dream. Oh, Civil War. What you think you want, you don't want, because nobody will win. And it's going to take a lot of things. It's going to take at least former military leaders. I've seen some speak out. We need to hear from people like General Mark Milley. Again, I know he's tired because he had to deal with this dude. He literally had to deal with him every day while he had to keep him in check the first time, Mr. Orange Hitler, when Mark Milley was a general. And Mark Milley was like, and then afterwards, Mark Milley, who said he is a dictator, and told the troops under him that we take an oath to the Constitution, not to a king or a dictator or wannabe dictator, because that's what this dude wants to be. But the people have the power when we come together. And we're going to be forced to, whether you want to or not. I'm a big P-Funk fan. George Clinton, Parliament Funkadelic, had a song, Ready or Not, Here We Come. Well, ready or not, if we don't come together, because the cult is already coming for folks. But I want white America. I want the MAGA cult with your red hats hate watching me right now. Please trust and believe. If you don't think that they will come for your ass, you are sadly mistaken. Because the minute you get out of line, the minute that you don't agree with something, the minute you complain because somebody in your family, you watch them die because they lost their health care, they lost their Medicaid or Medicare or SNAP benefits, you watch your children or grandchildren starve, or your grandparents or your mom or dad or a spouse, you watch them die, slowly die in front of you, under your eyes because they can't get health insurance and they don't have money to buy food, and they lost their food assistance, they lost their SNAP benefits. Farmers already finding out. Orange Hitler gave Argentina $20 million? Let's talk about bailing the farmers out. But the reason the farmers are in this situation, because Orange Hitler effed around and found out with China, and China's like, all right, you know what? You're going to play this tariff game. We're not going to buy any more, no grain from America. They worked out a deal now. China signed a 5-year deal with Brazil. So all the grains, the soybeans primarily, the soybeans that American farmers were selling to China, forget it, that's gone. China's buying their soybeans from Brazil, and so are other countries. So please understand that this war that's been declared on black Americans, black and brown Americans, that you are seeing play out on your television, I promise you it's coming to a city and a town near you eventually if you don't stand up and do something about it. But I will say this. And oh, by the way, the show is interactive. Everybody watching, please jump in my chat room. Let me know who's watching and where you're watching from so I can shout you out. And I want to hear from you. I want to give me your comments. I want to hear what you got to say. I know some of the cult there hate watching. I guess like y'all really don't want this smoke, because this. I had a few MAGA cult members that used to hate watch and had the courage to jump in my chat room. They didn't want that. But if you do, feel free. But I promise you, This orange Lord and Savior that you worship, he is going to come for your ass too. I guarantee you. I promise you. I promise you that you can bet everything that you've ever owned that I will swear on your ancestors that have moved on, he will come for your ass too, because he don't give a shit about poor and working class white people. Those billionaires, they never did. They use this made-up con game that is called a social construct of race to distract you and to make a fool out of you and to make you think the reason that you haven't gotten a raise in 30 years and the reason that the standard of living that your children will make less than you, why can't you be a billionaire? Because they don't want your ass to be a billionaire, because they didn't design this system for you to be in their club. Europeans invented this con game called race. Europeans in the 1680s, because they didn't like poor whites, Europeans, they referred to them as peasants. Beneath them. But they got you Maga cult members thinking just because you don't have melanin in your skin that somehow you are superior to black people. And here's the part that shows how ignorant that you are. And I'm calling you out. Because you are too ignorant to even understand just basic humanity, just anthropology, the study of the human species originated from the continent that is now called Africa. Any human on this planet, if you trace their DNA back thousands and thousands of years or more, it will trace back to the part of the world that is referred to as Africa. Dumbasses. They created, these billionaires and these wealthy people, Europeans created this thing called race so they could dig in your pockets, so they could distract you, and so they could snatch up and keep you, peasant, poor and working class white people, brainwashed with racism and misogyny and all this bigotry, hatred, and fear, so they could take your money and take your political power and social power and use it against you, people look like you and me and everybody else. There's a reason why over $1 trillion was cut from Medicaid, Medicare, Obamacare subsidies, SNAP benefits. And that same over 1 million, 1+ billion, that same $1+ billion that they cut from health care and SNAP benefits, they gave that over $1 billion to billionaires in tax cuts. You can't even do the math, can you? That's real simple. Let's take over $1 billion over here from poor and working class people, and we're going to give it to these billionaires. We're going to give them $1 billion, over $1 billion in a tax cut. So, today, and I've been talking about this, I'll talk about it every day because there's a lot, what do we do? And there's a whole lot. Like I said, I'm encouraging retired men and women in the military, retired generals, admirals. And I know, first of all, I have the utmost respect for your service and sacrifice. I have never served in the military. I have a lineage of my family all the way back to my grandfather, maternal grandfather, Conway Jones, who actually served in World War I, to my father-in-law, who served in the Korean War, to my first cousin, who you see on the show. He is my military expert. Retired Master Sergeant in the Marines, Roy Gray. He's family, we call him Sonny. I got family members that was in the Air Force, the Army. My maternal uncle, who's an ancestor, Charles Rayford, my grandmother's brother, served in the Navy. So it's going to, and I understand that you men and women, you take an oath to the Constitution, and that is a blood oath. You all take that, your life is dedicated to honoring that oath that you take and that you swear to the Constitution. I know it is millions of retired veterans is not with this bullshit. You got millions of active duty men and women is not with this bullshit. Yes, you got the MAGA faction and the MAGA cult. Why you think that they're trying to, they fired so many generals? I mean, the chief of staff was the brother, C.Q. Brown. But we need, now's the time, we need to see and hear more and more retired military. I've seen a significant amount on social media to let this regime know what you're not going to do. You are not going to misuse the military any more than you already have, and we do not train our military to attack their own citizens. That they take an oath to protect the country and everybody, not just some folks, not just the MAGA cult. Their oath is to the Constitution and to defend this country from enemies, foreign and domestic, including those who want to turn this into an authoritarian government or autocracy, authoritarianism, a dictator. That's just a fancy way of saying a dictator when you hear the term. It's an authoritarian government. It's a dictator. Just one dude just figured, we're going to do everything my way. So, shout out to all the men and women, active duty. And oh, by the way, to my active duty men and women in the military, you all know better than me. There is something called, there's a circumstance. So men and women in the military, actually, you have an obligation not to honor or engage in any illegal act. I'm going to bring my legal expert on, but I've talked to him and other men and women in the military. Or unlawful. I want to make sure I get the wording right. There are certain unlawful acts. Like the military understands they can't just randomly go and shoot and harm or shoot and kill American citizens for things like peacefully protesting, nonviolently. Now, I know Orange Hitler didn't, because he already asked his defense secretary in the first administration, Mark Esper, Mark Esper, that's his name, E-S-P-E-R, Mark Esper. He asked Defense Secretary Mark Esper, can't we just shoot these protesters in the leg, the Black Lives Matter protests in D.C., shoot them in the leg? No. That is an unlawful act, which is the term I wanted to make sure I got right. It is an unlawful act, and they have an obligation not to obey an unlawful act. So, active duty men and women, you have a duty. You have a responsibility not to obey an unlawful act that you know is unlawful. Even from the commander-in-chief. You can be defended in a military court. You can say, this is an unlawful act. And I have a duty not to obey an unlawful act. And to everybody else, especially to Black America, Brown America, you may want to get in on this too, along with white America that's not down with this racism and hatred. Asian American, Native American, let your money talk. Let your money talk. I'm going to wrap up today's monologue today by once again saying the way to get people's attention that have money and power, the way to really get their attention is to dig in their pockets. So if Orange Hitler continues to use the military to not just spread fear and intimidate, but to physically harm innocent, unarmed, even not people, these people that were in their homes, elderly people, children. They weren't protesting. They were minding their own goddamn business in their own house. And these demons, these, as Governor J.B. Pritzker referred to them, thugs, that Orange Hitler has dispatched, talking about, well, we want to make Chicago safe. You don't give a shit about Chicago. You don't give a shit about Birmingham, Alabama. You don't give a shit about Baltimore. You don't give a shit about Atlanta. You don't give a shit about New York. You don't give a shit about LA. You don't give a shit about Portland. Any of these cities that you've talked about sending the military into, National Guard. You even tried to get away with having the Marines in LA, but they had the courts were like, no. And this talk about he wants to invoke the Insurrection Act. Somebody should basically read what that act says. And to invoke the Insurrection Act, there has to be an insurrection, like the one that you engaged, the one that you ignited and started on January 6th. Or it has to be an invasion, a foreign invasion of the homeland. There's no insurrection. There's no threat to the federal government. There are no people storming the U.S. Capitol with weapons. So there is no legal proof of any sign of an actual insurrection of people physically trying to take over the government or a foreign invasion. So that's where we're going to need the courts to have some balls, and many courts, many judges, shout out to you, have been standing 10 toes down. And third, we're going to talk with our money. Like I said, since you want to since this MAGA cult and these Jesus-free fake Christians with this Jesus-free racist remix version of Christianity that is so anti-DEI, anti-black, and that, we want to get rid of black history. We don't want to deal with black people. Well, we really don't want to be bothered with your racist ass. But so you know what? Like I said, let's take this anti-DEI thing all the way to the end. Let's take it to the limit. We, as Black America, should anti-DEI everything. That means from sports, the NBA season starts in about a week or two, about 2 weeks. The NFL is already here. College football is here. College basketball will start sometime late November, early December. Sometime in November. It's anti-DEI. The SEC, the Southeastern Conference of Football and basketball. All these conferences, the Big Ten, we're going to anti-DEI everything. Let's anti our entertainment. Let's anti our treasure and our talent. And let's anti-DEI our money out of this economy. And support black, we'll figure it out. A way to only buy black. Support black, since you want to anti-DEI, since you despise black Americans so much, and that you want to utilize the military to harm innocent black Americans along with brown Americans that you claim we're just trying to round up undocumented people illegal aliens, these undocumented. No, it's rooted in racism. It's rooted in hatred and bigotry with misogyny and sexism in equal parts. So that's what it's going to take. Standing on business. Be careful what you ask for, MAGA cult. Because if it plays out, it's not going to look like the way you think it is. And nobody is going to win. And then what's going to happen, these same billionaires that don't give a shit about you Kevin Roberts and Stephen Millers, they don't give a shit about you ignorant ass racists. Long as there's government policies where they can make money and that their stock, the value of their stock continues to grow, they're okay with it. Yeah, because some of them are on this racist MAGA shit, but some of them are not fully, and some of them only worship money. And if you create a situation to where the economy gets worse than it is, and black people completely extract that $2 trillion in spending power out of this economy right before you all's holiday, which I am encouraging a full blackout. I'm saying full blackout starting at Halloween. I'm saying it now in real time. A full blackout. We can do that. And I would encourage our brown Latino brothers and sisters and white folks, you need to do that too. This is not on the racist bullshit. Asian Americans, Native Americans. A full economic blackout. Extract our money out of this economy. See how that's going to work out for you. Because ask Target. Ask Disney. And that were the black folks. But the white folks that went on that MAGA bullshit say, hey, wait a minute, hold on, man. This First Amendment, oh. Okay, Disney, are you going to bend over? You going to bend a knee and bend over and spread your cheeks for Orange Hitler? We going to cancel Disney everything. Disney, Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN, the new ESPN app, all of it. And Disney's company lost $6 billion. The value of Disney stock dropped $6.5 billion, not million, $6.5 billion with a B in roughly 5 days. Target's company has lost $12 billion in value since January. And they had lost that by like June, July. So money talks, bullshit walks. So the way to get, and what will happen if enough of these companies, and there's so much chaos, you play around with invoking the Insurrection Act, this economy is already in a really bad way, a real bad way. And if Orange Hitler Donald Trump, if he gets to messing around just like when he tried to go crazy with those tariffs, till it got to the point and he saw the stock market tank, and I'm sure he got a phone call or a visit. It's like, hey man, you messing with our money now. You do what you want to do with these undocumented folks, but don't mess with my money. And I know for a fact there's some men and women in the military that have been very open to say, don't mess with this military. Don't do this. We are not your puppet. You don't own us. We don't take an oath to you or any man or woman. We take an oath to the Constitution to defend the homeland from all enemies, foreign and domestic. And the Orange Hitler regime, you are a domestic threat. You are a threat. Your regime is a threat to this homeland. So shout out to the military. Get that message out there. I know you all have. And Wall Street is going to hit you too. It's going to start messing with your money. Let black folks fully extract this $2 trillion out of the economy. And when the value of your stock drops, okay. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you. God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show live, Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. The Geno Jones Show brought to you by Kojo, Courtney Johnson's company, Kojo LLC. Kojo, that's Kojo LLC, KOJOLLC.com. If you're looking to purchase a home, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, first home, second home, dream home, downsize a home, home to rent out, investment property, give Courtney Johnson, reach out to her. Go to her website, Kojo, KOJOLLC.com, or give her a call. Tell her you were watching the Geno Jones Show and you are looking to buy or sell a house in the Carolinas, South Carolina, North Carolina. She's got you. 843 area code 543-4022, 843 area code 543-4022. Shout out to Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. You can check him out on Instagram, Kelby Cutting Up. He is the CEO of Designer Cuts, Kelbe, Kelby Cutting Up, KELBECUTTINUP. That's KELBECUTTINUP. Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check her and her Lexi Jones fashion collection out. Also supermodel and a DJ. LX.NCL underscore. LX.NCL underscore. Once again, please, everybody, leave your comments in the comments section below. Please do that for me. When you're watching me live, once again, the show is interactive. Jump in my chat room, join the conversation, start a conversation. Give me your comments, your feedback, but please don't forget to leave your comments in the comments section below. And everybody watching, don't forget to click on the thumbs up. That is so important that you like this and every episode. Also, it is so important that you continue to support Black-owned media and support all Black-owned businesses, Black-owned institutions, and platforms like mine, because nobody's going to tell our story better than us, and nobody's going to tell the truth. As my grandmother said, tell the truth and shame the devil. We will tell the truth, or we won't talk at all, and we will shame the devil right here. Every episode of the Geno Jones Show, so your financial support is greatly needed to continue to have this platform and this voice, and to give others a voice, give a voice to the voiceless, and to give a platform for those who have voices with education and empowerment and enlightenment and inspiration and motivation, education, wisdom, spiritual uplift, and just all the positivity, all the light and the love and the strategy and the wisdom that we need to thrive, that we're going to do. So there's no amount too small or too large. Your financial support greatly appreciated, very much needed for this media company. And you can support the show financially either via Zelle or Cash App. You can Zelle, use my email address, Geno Jones Show. That's how you spell Geno Jones Show, right behind me. All one word, Geno Jones Show at Gmail. Cash App, $Dad G Jones. $Dad G Jones, all one word. $capital D, lowercase a d, capital G, capital J, lowercase ONES. The next live edition of the Geno Jones Show is going to be Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon on the West Coast. If you missed any of this episode, now you can go back and watch what you missed, and you can binge watch all my back episodes. We are celebrating the 5-year anniversary of the Geno Jones Show. As a matter of fact, it'll be tomorrow. It'll be 5 years in 1 week. A week ago, Wednesday, was the 5-year anniversary. The fifth birthday for the Geno Jones Show. So thank you for all your support. Once again, please support the show and this YouTube channel and my media company, more important, your financial support. You can Zelle your support, Geno Jones Show at Gmail. Use my email. You can Cash App, $Dad G Jones. Thank you, everybody, for watching me live. We'll see you Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of